Okay, welcome back to Unitech Solutions. This is exercise 3 where we left. This is actually the content where we left our web page when we stylished the Jumbotron. Now what I want to do is that I want to include all this to be in one as in one row, all right, but I want additional space so I can include something else like my either a button or my logo, because I told you that the Jumbotron aspect of it is used to what showcase key content of your web page. So I'm going to put this one in a div, in its own div, and I'll call a class on it, and the class I would give it the column. Okay, so the same row but different column, SM, to be occupying the rest of the 3 columns I have. Okay, so the next thing I would do is that I'm just going to, okay, now I have it here. Now let's look at the state of it. Okay, I'm just going to close this and I'll save my work. Okay, and I'll preview it again for you to see the current state of our web page. This is it. Everything is included. Now at level 3 aspect of it that I have to include something else, which of course I'll come back and deal with that one later in our course. So we have our content here showing up with the help. So we have the extra 3 here, which of course we would include something else over there. So when we go back to it, you can see it being highlighted. Now quickly, let's stylish the rest. I'm going to, so this whole Jumbotron aspect has been put in one container. Now I have to create additional containers, like to take hold of that part of my web page. So so the layout would be very perfect. So I have additional container I'm creating here, additional container. Okay, all right, so I'm including all this content in one container. So when we get back to our web page, we can see that now our web page has been stylish. The content has been, aspect of it has been placed in a nice container. So just for you not to doubt, I'm going to take the container and then I'll save it for you to see the position of the web page as at that state. Okay, so you can see the position of it, but as I included the container class, look at what happened again. Okay, my container class, and I'll save my work. Let's go back to it and you see it nicely displayed. Good. We are making a headway. And the next thing I'll do is that I'm going to put my footer in its own container as well. Okay, so I'll call a class on my footer, and I told you Bootstrap already have predefined classes and we are making use of it. We have not actually written any CSS code. All we are doing as of now is that we are including the Bootstrap classes, and you can see it styling our web page very beautiful for us. So I'm going to call the container. Okay, and I'll save my work and let's get back, and you can see that the footer has also been placed in a nice container and its own domain. That's good. We are making a headway. And okay, now let's make use of Bootstrap grade system. Okay, in the body we have our Jumbotron. After that we have another container, and I'm going to call another class again. So you can see today we are just calling classes in our exercise number 3. I'll be calling the row because I told you in my presentation that every column has to be placed in a row, and a row should be placed in a container. Then that is what I've done. I have my container. Now I'm declaring my row class, and I'll save my work. And the next thing I'll do is that I'll put this one in another class of its own. But guess what I'll do? I'll put it inside a column. So column, I've been using SM, which means targeting from the smaller device. You can use MD, which means medium device, and I'll declare 12 on it, and I can save my work. And when we get back to our web page, you will see what has occurred to the first part of our web page. Now the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to include this one also in another class, another column, because it's the same container but in another column. So the column, I'm just going to use column SM or MD again, and I'll use, let's say 3. I'm just going to use 3, okay, and I'll change this one to 9 so that it will meet up 12 columns in one row. That is what it means. So I can save my work. Let's get back to it, and you can see it being displayed by 9 columns, and then we have 3 columns aside, making 12. Now let's minimize our browser and let's see the effect of it. Okay, so see, Bootstrap is arranging our content to meet the smaller devices. So Bootstrap is arranging the content. So you can see the content has been placed in a very nice order for us. Okay, so that is the power of Bootstrap. That is the power of Bootstrap. So the first aspect has taken the 9, and the second aspect has taken the extra 3 that we want. Okay, so I believe we've all seen the power of Bootstrap as at this stage. Okay, I'm just going to turn it to smaller devices. So I'm targeting the smaller devices, and I'll target the smaller device that it should display 12 columns. So I have to change it to column SM, and the next thing I'll put it in column SM again, and I'll save my work, and I can see that here it has been included in its own column, isn't it, for the smaller devices. Okay, so 12 here, and I want additional 12. So I'm just going to make this one 12. Okay, and we have a nice content here waiting for us. Very great. With the little classes we've called on Bootstrap, we can see our content being nicely stylish. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the footer, and we will be done for this exercise, which is exercise number 3. So I'm going to call a container a class. Okay, and the class would be a container on its own. Okay, and I'll save my work. So all this has been placed in a container, and I'm going to divide them into various columns. But first, I have to include my row, isn't it? I hope you are getting the concept of Bootstrap grid system as we are going along. So all this have been placed in one row, and I'm going to call a class again. So if you are following it very well, then you know the next class I'm calling is column. And here I'm going to include this first part, this first one, in only 3 columns, and I'll save my work, and I'm going to include the next one I would have, which is here. Okay, in column -SM. All this should be included in another, but this one I want you to include in 6 columns. Okay, all right, we can just be adjusting all of them, and the last one will be placed in guess what, another 3, making 12. That's the calculation we just made. Now let's get back to our web page, and we can see it being stylish very nicely. Very nice, very nice. I guess you like the content of the state of our web page as of now, right? Okay, don't worry, we would include many things as we go further. Okay, so that is the state of our website we are creating, and you can see that we have a nice layout. Now let me change this to 4 and see what happens, because we say that it is supposed to be included in exactly 12, and as of now we've done 12, 12, 12. Now I'm going to make it 13, and we will see 3 plus 6, which is 9, plus 4 is 12. So let's see the effect. Okay, let's see the effect of our web page. I'm including it in more than what it is taking. You get it? Okay, so that's not it. That's not it. What we need to call is column hyphen sm, and I'll call 4 on it, hyphen 4. And when we save our work, let's get back to our web page, and you will see what has happened. Okay, so we have it being displayed on a different what row. It has shifted to a down, like it has shifted down to a next line. That is because we have made a wrong calculation saying that it is 4, and it must be included in what 13 in 12 columns. Instead of 12, I made it what 13, and that is what happened, and it has shifted our contents down. So I'm going back to my web page, and I would just, you see, it's being displayed very nicely. So that is the end of our exercise 3. Let's meet in our next section, and then we'll get ourselves in our next module. We'll get ourselves to be stylishing this content very well. Okay, so we'll meet again. Peace be upon you.